If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
Police in Anderson are looking into a deadly shooting they say happened outside of Sunny Ray's restaurant on Madison Avenue. Officers responded to reports of a shooting around 3 a.m. Sunday. When they arrived, they found a woman injured, one in the roadway. They found another woman in front of a nearby home. Anderson police also say another woman, so a third, checked herself into the hospital after reportedly being struck by a car during the aftermath of all this. Officers say the two women found at the scene were taken to the hospital, where one later died. This morning, we are working to find out if police have any suspects in custody or any new details about what led up to this shooting.
Cold-blooded demonstration. Now, according to reports, the sister that lost her life goes by the name of Dayla, right? If I'm pronouncing that right, Dayla Swain, I believe it's Dayla Schwan or Dayla Swain. Excuse me, y'all, if I'm not pronouncing the sister's name right. But before we get into this demonstration, allow us to give our condolences to her family, to her loved ones, and everybody that love her, right? And if you pray for her family, right? According to the reports that I'm getting, Dayla lost her life in February of 2025. And the cold-blooded part about her murder is she's an innocent bystander. She didn't have anything to do with the shooting. She didn't have anything to do with this gang that was trying to kill somebody and end up killing her. But, let's get into the whole demonstration about this gang and the reason why all this stuff happened. The motivation, how this boy ended up getting 100 years, how his other partner ended up getting 100,000 years, like how they just threw their life away. So let's get into that demonstration, right? So it all started, okay, let me pause. These is a group of guys. From my understanding, it's 8 of them. And they are from Chicago. And they are from one of the most notorious gangs in Chicago called the Mickey Cobras, right? Now, some of you probably never heard of this gang, right? Because they're not one of the large gangs I should say a publicized gang that you hear about, like the Gangster Disciples, the Black Disciples, the Vice Lords, the Latin Kings, Crips, Bloods, Serranos, Norteños, right? They are a small gang, but we got to understand something. Just because they're not large and they're not in the public like that, that doesn't mean that they are not dangerous, okay? Just for me being a part of the gang life and stuff like that, I understand that the smaller gangs are always the most dangerous. And the reason why they are the most dangerous is because they got to fight the bigger gangs. And being that they got to fight the bigger gangs, they murders and shootings and stuff like that got to be way more deadlier, right? You see what I'm saying? So that's how these gangs roll. And so these guys right here come from Chicago and went to Indiana, right? So a brother by the name of Julian and another brother who goes by the name of Harris, they was going to rob somebody. And during the robbery, Craig got shot and killed. Julius Craig got shot and killed, lost his life. And because of that, the prosecuting attorney charged Harris, the guy that went on the robbery with him, for Julian's murder. Ain't that cold-blooded? Look, let me put it to y'all like we 5 years old. Me and you go on the robbery. We going to go rob somebody, and in the robbery, you end up getting killed. I get away, but then the prosecutor find out that, hey, it was a robbery and my friend get killed and they charged me for my friend's murder. That's what happened. So now, after that, right, Harris is locked up for his friend's murder. And the key witness is the person that Harris and Julian was trying to rob. And so these Mickey Cobras, these gang members, they understand that. They understand that the only thing that is keeping Harris locked up is the guy that killed their homeboy and the guy that Julian and Harris tried to rob. So if they just kill him, Harris gets to come home. So they go on a mission. And in this mission, they catch the key witness. He's in a Ford F-150, a blue Ford F-150. And they run up on the vehicle. They run up on it and they gun it down. I'm talking about bullet holes in the passenger side, bullet holes on the driver's side, bullet holes in the windshield. When the police got on the scene, they found 12 9mm casings, 145 casing, and somebody left a magazine behind. Yeah. One of the shooters left their gun, or the magazine to their gun, the clip, behind after the shooting. The man that they was trying to kill and get touched. But as you seen in the news clipping that I just showed y'all, 3 women got hit. You see? Innocent people. And the sister Dayla, she lost her life. She got caught up in the crossfire of something that ain't even got nothing to do with her. So once the police got to doing their investigation and stuff like that, you know, they looking at poll cameras and everything like that. Once they get to doing their homework, they get to understanding that, hey, wait a minute. This right here is a organized criminal organization. And this whole thing got something to do with Harris, who is locked up for the murder of his friend. So when the homicide detectives get to doing all their investigation, that's when they find out, okay, hold on, these guys are from Chicago. They're part of the Mickey Cobras gang, and they came here specifically just to kill somebody so they can get their homeboy out of jail. But not only that though, because they looked at it like a form of get back. Because we got to understand, the person that they was trying to kill killed Julian, one of their homies. You see? And Harris is locked up for the murder of Julian. So it's like a 2-for-1, right? They looking at it like, okay, listen, we can kill this guy, get our get back, and Harris gets up out of the jail. You see what I'm saying? But it didn't work that way. It didn't go that way. Now, I know a lot of y'all probably saying, well, hey, hood educated, you done broke all that now. How did these boys get caught? Because they criminals, right? And you will believe in your mind that, hey, criminals know how to break law and how to get away, right? Criminals know how to commit crimes and not get caught. But it never happens that way. That's why we got jails. That's why we got detectives. Criminals always get caught, probably 90 to 95%, if not more. If you don't get caught for the crime you committed today, you will get caught for the crime you committed a year ago. You see what I'm saying? Or the crime you commit tomorrow. But you're gonna get caught. That's just how it go. So you say, hey, well, hood, how did they get caught? Like, what kind of evidence did they have against them? How many of these guys get locked up? What was they charged with? Well, allow me to break it down for y'all. The whole thing was caught on video. Now, they haven't released the video yet, but I got a transcript of the video that kind of break down what happened. So I'm gonna break that down to y'all. They are saying that Dayla was talking to the guy, the so-called, or the witness, in the blue Ford F-150. She's talking to him. All these guys jump out of a white car, run up on the truck, and get the gun and the whole truck down. Missed the witness that they was trying to kill completely, and they end up killing Dayla in the process. She got caught up in the crossfire of some stuff that she didn't even have nothing to do with. Now, I gotta reiterate this because this is very important. Even though she ain't have nothing to do with it, like I always tell y'all, associating yourself with gangsters will get you killed. I don't care if they're your cousin, your brother, your father, your uncle, your sister, your mama. I don't care who they is, your husband, your wife. If they are a gangster and they in that lifestyle and you associate yourself with them, driving in the car with them, going to clubs with them, going to public outings with them, you can find yourself catching their bullets. It ain't got nothing to do with you. You're just at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong person. That's why I always say, listen, if you got somebody that people have been trying to kill, hey, look, I got to stay away from you, bro. Look, I love you. You know what I'm saying? You my nephew, you my brother, my cousin, whatever. Hey, listen, I love you, man. But them boys been trying to kill you for the last 2 years. You can't come to my house no more. You can't be around my kids. You can't be around my wife, my mama, my father, nobody. Because you got a target on your back. And they trying to kill you, and I'm not trying to get caught up in that process. You see? So look, if you got somebody in your life that you love or that you close with, and they've been trying to kill him or kill her, hey, look, I gotta love you from a distance. Stay back. Don't come to my house. I gotta love you from a distance. You wanna kick it with me, we gotta go 3 states over to go kick it. We can't kick it in this state. Them boys own you. You hot. They want to kill you. You see what I'm saying? So that's important. Do not think to yourself for 1 minute, nah, it won't happen to me. If they see me, they ain't gonna start shooting because I'm a woman. You know, they won't shoot. They don't care, as you can see. That was a woman talking to somebody that they wanted to kill, and they did not care if the bullets hit her. They wanted him. And to them, she's just a casualty of their war. So, how did they get caught hood educated? Well, allow me to elaborate on that right there, y'all. The youngest one out of the clique, right, was 14 years old. Do y'all hear me? This boy right here was 4 years away from 10. Joined a very dangerous gang and went on a hit with them. Now, before I get into that, let me say something about that. When it comes to gangs, every gang, I don't care what gang, what they call it, every gang, they recruit young boys and girls. So if you got a young boy or a young girl and you live in a gang-infested neighborhood, it would be wise for you to monitor your child, because the gangs, they seek the young because they understand that they can influence the young mind. You see what I'm saying? And make the young guys travel from one state to a whole nother state to commit crimes like this boy right here did. You see? So if you got a youngster, whether she a girl or a boy, pay close attention to their surroundings. Who they kicking it with? What's going on their social media, right? What kind of hand gestures are they doing? What type of handshakes going on? The clothing, how they wear their hat, the type of hats that they wear. You see, you gotta pay close attention to that type of stuff, because that would tell you if your child is in a gang or is he, trying to join a gang. You see, this boy right here was 14 years old. 14. Going on a murder. Now, listen. This is how they started getting caught. The 14-year-old, the young boy, admitted on his Instagram that he shot and killed Dayla. Yeah. But he did it in a slick type of way, as if, the police don't understand the gang lingo. When you got informants telling the police the lingo, when you got professional polices that investigate all day long, 24/7, 365 days a year. You see? Yeah, they understand the lingo. You ain't saying nothing slick when you say, yeah, I blew them down. They know what you talking about. I smacked them. They know exactly what you talking about. And so that's what happened here. The 14-year-old boy, he get to bragging about the murder on Instagram. But not only that though, because on Snapchat, these boys right here is discussing the planning of the hit on Snapchat. And the police got that right there. And they connected it all to the murder of Dayla. Now, when these guys got arrested, right, one of them still on the run. One of them still out there right now. But when all of them, the majority of them, well, all of them got arrested except that one, good old police work just wasn't enough. You understand? And it's never enough. Especially when you're dealing with gangs. Because once these gangs get locked up in prison and they start looking at life sentences and stuff like that, then all of a sudden, all the gang codes just get thrown out the window. Yeah, hey man, hold on. All that, just go to jail for your murder. Hell no, I ain't. All the codes and all the rules and regulation to the gang, it just goes out the window when they start looking at life in the penitentiary. And that goes for all gangs. Now look, guess what happened? Like it always happens, right? And for some of you brothers that have participated or, are still in these gangs, y'all can get in the comments and tell me I'm telling the truth or call me a lie. Every single gang in the United States of America got a gang member that told on them that's from their gang. Tell me I'm lying. Everyone. It happens all the time. This is right here. This is not, oh my God, this is not shock and awe what I'm telling y'all. This right here is normal occurrence when it comes to gangs. That's why this backwards. Like, what are we doing here? You see? No, so in this case, yeah, two of the boys got the snitch. Yeah, they got the telling on their homeboys. They got to telling the inner workings. They got to telling the step pyramid. Who is at the top? You see, that's how they got the organized crime demonstration. Because the guys that was telling them that the hit came from the top guy. On down to them. You see what I'm saying? That's how they got that. These boys got the telling so good, they got the telling about, hey, yeah, they fled to Wisconsin and you can find him there. They was telling so good, one of the boys turned himself in like, hey, man, I can't be on the run. I ain't got nowhere to go. You see what I'm saying? They got the telling. Remember I said that they dropped that clip at the scene of the crime? Yeah, they told on that too. And the cold-blooded part about that though is that the police just put in the news that they left the magazine at the crime. They left the clip, but the boy that got the telling, he knew what type of bullets was in there, what type of gun it was for, and everything. So they know he was telling the truth. You see. So these guys that are telling had already got on the stand against two of their own gang members and told the truth and nothing but the truth. You see? So yeah, come on. Look, I thought it was, keep your mouth closed, don't say nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't heard nothing. What happened to the code? It ain't no code. No. See, when you get locked up and you looking at life, then you start thinking about yourself. Wait a minute, hold on. I can't do life. I'm only 19 years old. How I'm gonna do life? I ain't even laid naked in the bed with a woman yet. You see, I ain't even old enough to go to the liquor store. You see, yeah, they get to thinking about all type of stuff. And then when they kids like that, they got if the mamas and the fathers care for them, they got them in their ear. Boy, don't you now? Did you do it, boy? No, Dad, I was just there. I ain't even do nothing. Okay, well, you better tell who did it then, boy. Because if you don't, you're going to do the rest of your life. I told you quit hanging with them boys in the first place. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, then parents get to jumping in. The girl that they love, she get to, I can't last for no whole lifetime. I'm only 19 too. I gotta have kids. I want to get married. And they little girlfriend, they hard get to her and they think she cheating and stuff like that. Yeah, people get to telling all of a sudden. All of a sudden I don't want to be in the gang no more. You shouldn't have been in the gang in the first place. You ain't built for it. You see what I'm saying? So all that we gonna beat you up to beat you in to see if you tough. That ain't gonna do nothing when it comes to getting life in the penitentiary. Is you testing them like that? Yeah, anybody can get beat up by a couple of people. Yeah, that's easy to do. But have they ever been up under that pressure of serving the rest of their life in the penitentiary? Yeah, nah, things changed then. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, two of the boys got up there and they testified. They told about, the guns, the type of guns that they had to do the hit. They told them about, the logistics, you know what I'm saying? How they planned the hit, how they knew what dude was, that they wanted to kill. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, they test about the chain of command, They testified about everything. You see? So for you brothers that are part of the gang, look, let me tell you something. For everybody that watch my channel who is a part of a gang, let me tell you something. If you are part of a gang that's killing and committing crime, I need you to understand something and hear me clear. You are not exempt from what's going on in this demonstration right here. You're not. Do not believe in your mind that, hey, look, my gang ain't like those guys over there. My gang won't do nothing like that. We tight. We built different. Okay, all right. Believe that if you want to. When you're in that courtroom, when you're in somebody county jail, and they hand you that complaint, and they got your homeboy name on it telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth, you're going to be sitting up here saying, damn, man, Hood told me, man. Damn, I should have listened to Hood Educated, bruh. He told me this was going to happen. I don't want it to happen to you. I want you to stop doing what you're doing. I want you to stop creating all this madness in the community. That's what I want you to stop doing. But you got to make that decision yourself. Don't risk your life. Don't play with your life. Because there is a lot of men right now that are in the penitentiary or in the grave for playing with their life. Don't be like these brothers here. Because see, they played with their lives. The boy Rashawn Samuels, 19 years old, got sentenced to 125 years. The boy 19. They sentenced the boy longer than anybody can live. Ain't nobody even living to 125 years. That's how serious the court is about this stuff. You see, the boy Jamaz Larry, 15 years old, 100 years. Did you hear me? 100. Kyrie Carver, 19, 90 years. Do you understand? Don't think that you are exempt from this. If you are gang banging and you are a part of a organized gang, you are not exempt from this, young brothers. You're not. That's 315 years. Do you understand? These people are not playing with you. They will lose you in their system and get that sweat equity up out of you. Make you work in there for 25 cents an hour. You don't want to do that. No women, no kids, ain't no playing no games, none of that. It's over with. You see? And the rest of the boys, they just sitting waiting. They waiting to get they 100, they 90 years because they ain't been to trial yet. But when they do go, I'm going to be to talk about them too. Because I want y'all to see how much time they get these boys. But right now, we got 315 years on the table. No, come on now. You don't want to do nothing like that. So like I always say to you young brothers, to you brothers that are in the gangs, even you classic brothers that call yourself calling shots over these young brothers. Listen. These young men had a plan, right? All 8 of them, they had a plan. The up guys, the older guys, the tops. Hey, yeah, we need y'all to do this. Listen, look how it played out. Their best thinking got all of them facing life in the penitentiary. Their best thinking. Because here it is, you got them trying to do a robbery. They end up, the guys that went to go do the robbery, what's the boy name that got killed? Julian, end up getting killed. They charged his homeboy, Harris, with that murder. Now these guys won't get back for Julian. Harris wanted to get out the penitentiary. And now all of them, wait, hold on, stop. Then they killed the wrong person. And now all of them finna get life in the penitentiary. Welcome to the wonderful world of gangbanging. This is Hood Educated, not Lame Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Now before I depart, allow me to give a shout out to some of the blessings I received this week. Allow me to give a shout out to D-Way Enterprise for the $20 Zelle. Thank you. And allow me to give a shout out to the Cash App that I received this week. Brother Brando for the $2 Cash App. Thank you. Sir Sid for the $5 Cash App. Thank you. Daniel for the $10 Cash App. Thank you. Cortland Steffens for the $20 Cash App. Thank you. And last but not least, Dianca Lewis Rivers for the $12 Cash App. This is Hood Educated, not Lame Related. Peace and love. And y'all take care of yourself out there.